Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my podcast. I have a very special lady here with me today, Miss Tanya, and she is an incredible spiritual worker, healer. And I just want to share everybody all the amazing ladies I've been able to work with and what we've all been going through in this ascension, just so we're kind of exposed with each other's gifts and how we're navigating this era in our lives. We've never experienced anything like this spiritually, financially, like with our families. And it's definitely a lot. So it's nice to have a community that, we see each other. But I want to welcome Miss Tanya.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here. This is my first podcast, and I'm just so excited and grateful. I just love you so much, and I've learned so much from you. I just feel like we both have that divine mother within us. We all do, but me and you are just like so many others. I know a lot of other people we're connected to. We're just mothers of Earth, and it's been beautiful.
For sure. And you're one of the people I know that has been really heavily working on the mother grids. I know there's other light workers rehabilitating a lot of the masculine father sides, but a lot of the women have just been such a powerhouse in, clearing, transmuting in our bodies. It's one thing to be just watching and learning from people, but when you get to really do a lot of this work, we physically feel it in our bodies. It's a whole complete realm. And so I just want to kind of find out, like, what was your history? Like, did your awakening kind of happen all of a sudden? How did you become a healer?
Yeah, my journey started when I was about 17 years old. I always had this mothering thing about me, and I've
Mhm.
always been very compassionate. When I was younger, I used to love watching Lifetime, and my mom used to say, "Why are you watching all of these shows and just crying?" But I just had compassion for the world. I knew I had this gift within me, but I wasn't sure what it looked like until I was in high school. I lost my boyfriend to a car accident, and that kind of opened me up in a new way. But I was still very much in religion. So
Mhm.
I would say this aspect of my journey started in 2019. I had been diagnosed with preanal cancer, and I had a couple surgeries. And through that process, I ended up with some back problems and hip issues. It was a time where I stepped away from my family, I stepped away from religion, and I just fully was like, am I doing what I'm supposed to here? Because
Mhm.
I always was connected with my higher self. When my boys were younger, because I have two kids, I just decided one year we're moving to Oregon because there was this voice in my head that told me, if you move to Oregon, we're going to help you heal and we're going to change your life. And I had no
Mhm.
clue what that even meant, but I just listened. And I remember when this happened, and I told my mom and my stepdad, they thought I was crazy. They were like, you need counseling. Just because they didn't want me to move away, and they didn't know how to process, like, what is she doing? Because I come from a Japanese family, and there's been a lot of control based off of fears.
Mhm.
And so it was kind of rough. I would say when I moved away, I opened up to having to be independent on my own. I didn't have a job when I moved. And this voice told me, just when you move, go to a church and we're going to provide everything. And that is what happened. When I became disabled, I was reopened in a whole new way. I started searching other religions because I wanted to make sure I was on the right track. And then that's when I found Sadhguru and listening to his teachings. And I was like, life is more simple than I
Right.
think.
Oh, I love Sadhguru. I have his book, and it was one of the first teachers too. I was very much into the yoga path. I had my yoga teacher trainings, but it wasn't enough. The more that you get activated, it's like there's more.
Yeah. And I have a little dog here, everybody. So if everybody sees me move on the video, it's just because she's right next to me moving too. I just loved his teachings. And it was funny because the first thing I was learning from him was to chant. We've recently been talking about that. I love that this is coming out for everybody else in the world right now. That since everything is crumbling, people are searching for answers. They're searching outside of religion too because they're like, how could all this be going on?
Right.
So when I moved to Oregon, I became a Sunday school teacher there. I kind of realized I was like, wow, I'm more than just mother to my kids because I had all of these younger kids in front of me now. And at this church, they would bus the kids in that their parents wouldn't go to church. So it was like I was mother to these kids, and
Mhm.
they gave me the class that no one else could handle. It was a lot, but me and my boys took it on. And that also was like showing me, like, just what I was supposed to do and where I was supposed to lead.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I feel you. Being spirit led, it's all uncertain.
Yeah.
Everything you have planned in your lives, like forget it because spirit will lead you in the most unpredictable moments. Thank you for sharing your healing journey because I think it's very important now more than ever to talk about things. You look amazing. Have you done chemo? What was your treatment process?
So I just had 3 surgeries. I'm 5'7", and I was like probably 135 because when this all happened, I was working out and I was going to be competing in this Spartan race. I was running on the pier every day. When this happened, I lost so much weight. I was down to 90 pounds. I have 2 boys, and me and my younger son have a different type of connection. He has always led me to a lot of truths. And he had seen me so thin and sick. He was like, if you have chemo, I won't ever talk to you again. Because he had said, it's going to take your life. I'm already looking at you like this, and I can't handle that.
Right.
So, yeah, I decided not to do chemo or radiation. And that's when I decided to look for a natural way to heal. I met a girl, her name was Ari. I had a reading from her, and she asked me if I would want to do a healing with her.
Mhm.
And she was a shaman from New Mexico. She did a crystal healing on me. She cut it out energetically when I went to the doctor to get, because every 6 months I still have to go get a scope and a biopsy procedure.
Mm.
But lately I have been only going once a year. I decided that I don't want to do that because
Mhm.
I energetically know that it's been removed from me and I have healed.
Mhm.
It's amazing because this was energetic work. And when I went to my doctor, my surgeon, and when she
Mhm.
examined, she said, why do you have a cut on this side of you, like a scar? She goes, we've never even cut you on that side. And I was just like, oh, I don't know, because I'm not going to tell her. She's going to be like, are you thinking I'm crazy? But I was like, if I tell her, oh, it was energetically cut out with a crystal, but that is what I had done. And I had healed the issue of boundaries.
Mhm.
Growing up in the controlling environment, I had no boundaries. After losing my boyfriend, I would be an overgiver because I was in a place of fear of losing people.
Right.
That, yeah, that I didn't have boundaries and I overgave. So I found balance with that in my life. As I was healing and clearing these patterns, everything started opening up more because, like, I already, when my boyfriend passed away, I could see him still. And my mom would tell me, just, I had that gift, your grandma did, just pray for it to go away. I
Mhm.
didn't know, coming from religion, I thought, okay, pray for it to go away. So I did. But now that I was separated from everybody, I didn't talk to my family for 5 years,
Mhm.
except for my boys. I cut everybody out. I spent all that time alone studying, meditating, and really connecting with myself on the deepest levels. I healed myself, and I still go to my appointments, of course,
Mhm.
because two sides to the coin. People need to know that you can energetically clear things. Like, it's so important. to know that there's these patterns we all carry within us, and we can clear them and
Mhm.
give other people grace, because once you're able to clear things and see it, it opens your eyes to everything around you and what's been going on, but still forgive and give those people grace because they don't even know.
I love that you mentioned grace because it's one of those traits that you have to practice. And one of the hardest lessons for humans and healers is forgiveness and compassion. But those are the very traits that you need as a healer. It's like you're neutralizing that negative energy into more of that positive energy. If you're noticing, there's a lot more people kind of coming out about their Lyme's disease, similar chronic conditions, complex conditions, because these are all entangled with the trauma fields, the planetary grids, and a lot of the lineages, histories that we've had in humanity. So the problem with healthcare is they like to slab on different fancy names. You have your ICD, and me being a chronic care in management before, there's patients that would come to me with literal 5 to 12 diagnoses and bring like a whole bag of medications. I was like, this is not healing. We are adding more and more. We should be removing less. I'm so grateful that my mentor at that time, we were doing a lot of internal medicine, a lot of cancer patients I was seeing, a lot of hospice patients. Once you have, let's say you have cancer, you have all these other on top of each other, because our bodies are like a Jenga tower. And if one system goes bad, everything else is like ricochet. People think that gun violence is one of the top sources of people dying, but it's really heart disease, GI cancers, diabetes, obesity, CKD. It has killed more people than guns or accidents. It starts with our food, it starts with educating ourselves. I know you mentioned about your war patterns with your family. I also had my grandpa was also, he was Chinese, but then they had a lot of torture during the World War II. He was captured. It's like whoever volunteers for the family, all of those war patterns get dumped on us. And if they're not able to finish what they've started, we have to finish their karma.
My grandfather, his family was from Japan, but his parents ended up moving to Hawaii. And my grandfather was raised in Hawaii when they had the Pearl Harbor. He actually was, in school and witnessed that as a child. My grandfather was such a powerhouse in my life. Today marks 1 year of his crossing over, but I feel like he was for this timeline. Really
Mhm.
amazing, like the things he would do and the things I grew up witnessing. He was someone who like loved to build. Like he bought every single one of his kids a house, and he bought their kids a house. So that way everybody was provided for so that they could provide for their kids. And I'm just grateful that I had him in my life. I can be like an example like him, you know what I mean, to
Right.
other people and show people what I've learned. But yeah, the world right now needs a lot of compassion and grace. I definitely feel that. And just holding space for each other right now, because everyone is so confused with what's happening. Like, I even know in my own family, my mom, she's struggling to process what is
Mhm.
my religion. And I'm just like, it's love. Just that's it.
My religion is love. I like that.
Yeah, I'm just like, there doesn't have to be a religion. I love everybody. We don't have to worry about that anymore.
Why do we need to label things?
Because all we need is to show each other that right now. That's what we came here for.
Yeah, I
So
heard something last night. Love is actually easy. And it's this ego, these filters that we have. We're not able to communicate how we're feeling that really impedes us from opening our hearts more. And I think embodiment, safety, clear presence takes a long time to really peel back a lot of our shadows. But then once you go through your own purges, You create a new reference point, not just for yourself, but for your family. And I know your sons are also shifting dramatically. You have such amazing mother codes. Every time you leave me a voicemail, I get goosebumps because you're just that nurturing mother.
I was so emotional this morning because I was getting all the codes from you. I am that mother to her too. I just love you like you're my daughter too. It made me feel so special because I know you have been helping me step into my confidence. I love that I can just energetically be here for you. If you need me, you can reach out to me.
I definitely need to open up more. I feel like I'm very vocal, but all that mother wounds that I had growing up with a narcissistic parent, it's taken a long time to heal that part of me. But me and my mom, we've been in the best relationship we've ever had now. And it takes a lot of work, but it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, it's the same with me too. It's like we're the best, and that's what I told her. Because my mom is very religious, and she was like, "Well, I'm not used to hanging around people if I'm not leading them to Christ." And I'm like, "I have Christ in my heart. Don't worry."
It's like,
I'm like,
Mom, I am Christ. What are you
"Yeah,
talking?
I'm your daughter. We have to come to a point where we can agree to disagree and just get along because that's what we're here for. Life is short. We have to do these things."
That's the thing, though. It's like everybody thinks that Christ is outside of us. And that is like one of the biggest religious indoctrination that God is outside of us. Like God is literally inside of everybody. We have that seed, the God Adam seed. And, you're looking at each other, and you're just like, hello, do you not see me here?
And that's what I was trying to break it down to her in a way that she could understand. And then I even apologized. Like, I'm sorry. I like when you ask me stuff like this, I kind of get triggered because I feel like you're judging me, but I'm glad that I was able to notice that she just is trying to understand and accept me for who I am in a sense. So I'm sorry. I don't want you to, like, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings or anything. I'm just saying there's some things we're going to agree to disagree. But I do feel like as all of us continue healing patterns, it is healing patterns within our family. I know you know this already.
Oh my gosh, yes, especially with my family, not just my personal life. It was kind of enmeshed with a lot of the money wounds, inheritance stuff, and it's been chaotic since my dad passed away last year. The family dynamics that we had to go through, and how can we communicate better? It's like money's just money, like family and being there for each other. You really have to kind of be the bigger person and see somebody still having traumas. You see what their body looks like, and there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of resentment, there's a lot of shame. And once you can really see the core woundings of people, you soften a little bit. It's like, I see the real you. You're not perfect, and I'm not perfect either, but we're just trying our best. And it's difficult. It's definitely tough. But even having conversations like this, like being raw and open, it's like, hey, this is what my life is like. It gives an opening for other people to do the same.
Yeah. I've been dealing with since my grandfather left. My family is kind of divided now. There's a lot to that. When my grandfather passed, it really divided everybody. Even though I stepped away, now I'm the one trying to balance some of the relationships. But I'm grateful for it. I love it. Just like what you're doing with your family, because there's so much division when one person leaves. And that's another thing. I was letting my mom know, I was like, grandpa is okay. And she's like, how do you know? I told her, you might not believe these things, but grandpa told me this. And she goes, honestly, I do believe that because that's something he would say. And I was like, okay. So then another time I was just trying to tell her that he is okay. And I think that's what she's trying to understand. Well, how do you know? And I was trying to explain to her, I don't believe in death. And she's like, what do you mean you don't believe in death? And I'm like, it's just a transition of the soul.
Right.
And a lot of people don't understand that we have our higher self. It's like they know it's there, they've connected with it before, like everyone has, but they're just like, they don't make sense that it's deeper, that it's our soul through all lifetimes. It's the same soul, you know what I mean? And we just
Yeah.
transition. So I was trying to get her to understand that a little bit, but I just know it's important for us, the things we do know, to share them. And even if people don't understand, it's okay, because later, as they reflect,
Mhm.
they will open up and they will understand. Because just like with a lot of your videos, when I came across you and Yaya, I was yeah, it was new to me, because I had just came out of spirituality, then I moved kind of into Sadhguru, and then I was moving into the Lemurian Atlantis stuff, and then I'm coming in, to my cosmic galactic things now, and then just opening up the whole blueprint here, and I'm like, wow, this is a lot here. And the words were different, and I was trying to process everything. But now it's like I completely understand. So when I talk to my son, I know I just talk to him how like I would talk to you. He's like, I don't get what you're saying. And I'm like, no, it's okay. And then later he'll come back and tell me something. And he's like, now I understand. And I'm like, yeah. And I even told my mom, when I leave you messages, I know I word things differently, but I said I'm outside of religion now. So it's a little bit different, but I want to stay in this vibration when I'm
Mhm.
talking, because I want it to open them up. I even had to tell my mom, I said, we're each other's biggest catalyst. I'm like, we have heads, but it was meant to be that way, because, I know I chose her to be my mom and to push me and make me uncomfortable, just like I did with you, to push me into this podcast and make me show myself here. It's meant to happen.
Yeah, when I started, my family was like, "Oh my God, Celine's playing with like demonic stuff." Like, I'm literally the one that's processing Antichrist stuff, and everybody in the spiritual community. How are you gonna say that to me? We had
Yeah,
so much clashing. It's like, you guys don't understand, and that's okay. I'm just planting seeds for you. But now they're my biggest supporters. She was texting me when I had my event. She was like, "How did your event go?" I was like, "Oh my God, there's like 35 people that came." And just excited about what I'm doing now, how it's affecting other people. But it took such a long time to help them understand the grid working aspect, the healing nervous systems. Like, yeah, I like crystals. I've liked crystals since I was little. But, when I had my Kundalini, I had my Indigo 3 contract. That's a whole nother like
yeah.
ball game being an Indigo. Are you an Indigo 2 or 3?
I'm too.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Indigo 2s, you guys do so much for us because you guys are the ones that are really taking on a lot in your body. Like, you guys came here with contracts with chronic illnesses, just healthcare stuff to transmute all of this. Thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for everybody
Thank you for
processing all of this together, because we all choose the parents that we come here. We all choose the circumstance, especially when a person grows up in environments with abuse, guilt, a lot of absent. One of the things that helped me entrain people now is the root and sacrum, because when there's a lot of abuse, trauma there, instead of rooting that first and second chakras, it clamps or it starts leaking, and that causes a lot of the chronic stuff. And then you end up living in these upper chakras, or in your mind, just permanent low grade survival state. So a lot of the martyrdom, a lot of the people pleasing patterns, the nervous system has not felt this sense of safety to receive, like fully receive in your body. So it overgives and overholds, and over time, it can express a lot of GI issues, pelvic stuff. There's like uterine cancers, and what do you call that?
endometriosis. of 20 surgeries. It's really crazy, like everything I went through, and it's all lower region. So,
Mm-hmm.
and the endometriosis also from not having boundaries. And I tell people all the time because people think it can't be healed, and it can be healed. So it's like, don't do the surgeries because the surgeries honestly cause so much. And that's what can't be healed sometimes because, but then again, it can in the long run
Mm-hmm.
at your nervous system because I was still having constant pelvic floor spasms because of all of the cutting they've done, and the nerves were just so damaged. But now, in the last 2 months, I've been resetting my nervous system and I just feel them relax now. I've been able to start weaning myself off of some of my medication,
Yeah.
which has been amazing. And it's just been really good. We
That's
can.
amazing. That base template in our sacral bowl really needs to be rebuilt. This morning, my higher self was showing me kind of new matrices in your like pelvic area in your bone. There's like, oh, that's good that she's getting upgraded in her lower bodies. Because just as much as you want to ascend deeper in yourself, you want to anchor down also. And you are somebody who's consciously doing these work, you're peeling layers and layers, and this is when change can really happen a lot faster. A lot of times we're still running in the old distorted architecture of our energetics, and this is where repatterning at the root is really necessary because it's giving you that almost like platform nervous system in your subtle body as a new reference point for safety.
Trained my mind, and now it's like this year I'm retraining my body with what I've learned.
Yay. Yeah, definitely body literacy is so important, especially if you're receiving higher frequencies and even watching my content. There's a lot of codes in my content that it's almost like those updates in your phone every time.
I send people your videos on YouTube all the time, and I'm like, don't just watch it once. I was like,
Play in the background.
yeah. And I was like, keep rewatching it. And then even in 30 days, rewatch it. And you're going to be like, wow, I understand all of this on a whole different level. And you're going to realize how much you've cleared. It's really amazing because your videos are an energetic healing and you're giving
Mhm.
people for free,
I
right?
want people to catch up and not feel like they're swimming in the mud because I've been there too. I had a lot of thyroid issues and I know how painful and disheartening it is for your body to fight through all of this. There's a lot of new elemental codes that are landing to us, especially with how we're moving away from the carbon to crystalline matrices. I try to like explain it as easy as possible because our DNA, like carbon to crystalline, it's almost like a whole new operating software. That's why a lot of people's bodies feel like there's a drag. But, it's like the chemistry of our bodies are really changing.
Make sure you eat light and healthy. If you're having health issues, the most important thing is eating healthy food. That has helped me heal my pain. I'm someone who loves spicy, but I can't eat spicy anymore. But it's okay. Like I've learned to accept certain things because then I can do more during the day, get more movement and feel more comfortable. It's really important right now to find foods that are safe for you because each of us needs different food, like different things that are safe for us. But I think that's really important too for this new crystalline blueprint you all are bringing in, because we really are shifting in such a different way than ever before.
Yeah, and just to kind of explain blueprints and DNA stuff. So we often hear about the crystalline templates. Basically, the geometry in the carbon-based life, it's like organic chemistry. The crystalline templates that often people talk about is not replacing carbon with silicon. It's more like carbon-based biology. This is our DNA, our collagen, our cellular water. It's taking more crystalline geometry. If you look at a diamond's structure. It's more like lattice shape instead of a flat carbon base. So it allows you to transmit more higher frequency light without destabilizing. And just like a diamond, when you flash a light in the diamond, it radiates light back to people. The old base 6 templates, it's more like if you have a rock or a mineral, right? A carbon based mineral, when a light comes in, it doesn't disperse that light. It's all held within that structure. That's why, like, rest, grounding, hydration, minerals, and gentle movements, it's really important to give your body the raw materials to help it rearrange itself into a much higher coherence lattice. This is called the diamond body, upgrading our DNA because our consciousness is light information. And the more we accelerate, it's really a lot of the DNA. As many times as we clear, we see all of this changes in our collective. Like there's earthquakes happening, there's floods, there's tsunami warnings, there's storms, everything else, because the planet is really incredible. She is finally responding and she's alive. She's renewing herself in a way, and we shouldn't look at it as just pure destruction. Sometimes destruction is necessary for us to evolve. And that's what entropy is, evolution and innovation, right? So that we can fix all of the broken systems and move into a better future for all of us.
Yes. It's been needed. It's really been needed. We need to let go of the fear and just trust. Just trust the process. It's so important to ground. Like I said, eat healthy foods. I tell the people I work with, ground from the moment you wake up. I use certain things in my coffee, like I use Manuka honey, some Celtic salt, and then I go right outside and I place my feet on the grass, and I even hose my feet down while I'm drinking the coffee. So I'm just
Honey is so good. It has that collective frequency. They're making me drink all of this like orange, ginger, and turmeric early in the morning, right when I wake up, so that I can activate my solar fire. And I love cacao also, like cacao
I
meditations.
that is so good. I
Yeah.
also tried recently the flow dose, like you said, and that
Mm.
was, if people feel ready for that, like if you feel aware of what's going on, I would definitely say try doing it at least once a week. Watch her videos while you're doing it, because yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I understand everything on a whole nother level.
It's like your camera's kind of blurry, and then you take
Yeah,
mushrooms. I will link down below the mushrooms and my coupon code there, but it's literally like you're focusing, your aperture is opening,
yeah,
and you're just like, oh my God, everything makes sense. My brain is connecting again. It's really like you're opening your perception, you're opening new lens in your eyes, in your brain. I highly recommend microdosing. You don't have to blow yourself out to making massive ayahuasca trips, and there's repercussions to that too if you are not doing it with a healer that understands the quantum mechanics of what else is above. I would work with a woman shaman usually instead of a man, because it's a lot of like that pelvic. You're going down into the underworld or deep into your subconscious. I'm sure there's also good male shamans, but to me, it's like women know more.
right now especially. But they're getting there. They are getting there, which is amazing. Different signs are going a lot of different things, but I do feel the men in the collective are starting to let go of those egos. Even the masculine side within us women, we are starting to find
Oh my
balance.
God, yes. Like such a massive masculine upgrade, and it feels so good. It's like, oh my God, I feel so supported within my masculine now. It's like
Yeah,
I can do things. I'm not very floaty. It's like, wow, I'm actually here on earth and not just
yeah, like I've always been more of in my mask, like even as a child, I was just masculine. Like, I always felt like, was I supposed to be a girl when I was younger? Because I just had to always take on this role for myself.
Right.
I just feel so much balance right now.
Was it because of like your father woundings that what was like you growing up?
Oh, so growing up, my dad was not around at all. My dad was
Mhm.
in and out of jail, and I probably, when I was younger, maybe seen him like probably 3 times when I was a child that I can actually remember. I'm sure there's more than that, but I don't remember a lot because of the in and out of jail. And then my mom, she was always the provider and working, and then she had me
Mhm.
at a young age. Like, I think she was 17 or 18 when she got pregnant and had me. So she was young, and coming from the Japanese family, they didn't really talk to her because she lied when she got married, didn't tell them she was pregnant. So my first, I think she said it until I was 8 or 10. I don't remember exactly, but they
Mhm.
didn't talk to her. I was raised by the babysitter. My mom was working, my dad wasn't around, and I was at the babysitter's. When my mom got off work, she was always at the bar with her friends. So
Mm.
she was young, you know what I mean? She didn't even know what she was doing. So for me, I just had to take on that role. And then when I had my kids, I had gone through a divorce, and the men I chose, I always chose men that weren't really providers. Like, I had to be the provider. So then I was like doing the same pattern to my children. That's why I feel like me moving to Oregon and then I didn't work for those years because I was able to get on unemployment opened me up to having time with them finally and being alone with them and kind of looking at things in a different lens because no one was around. So I would say I've always, in a sense, ended up separating myself from my family anyway.
Yeah, it's a lot of those childhood traumas that were probably like, oh, it's a long time ago. Like, I'm already healed. It's not a part of me anymore. But it definitely creeps up in your body because the somatic memory is still there. And then next thing you know, I'm having troubles with money. I'm having relationship issues, or like, why do I keep picking on myself? Why do I not like myself so much? It's all those younger self patterns of parentification, a lot of the abandonment wounds that we have. It's really hard because you're like, it's not that bad. It was a long time ago. And then you start to open the Pandora's box. It's like, oh shit.
Knew had a way of blocking things out. Even my mom would tell me, it's so weird that you don't remember anything when you were younger. And it wasn't till these last 6 years, I'm like, I'll text her and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I remember this. She's like, you were 3 years old. How do you remember that? And I'm like, I told you recently, the memories that just come through.
Mhm.
I was the type to block everything out. Even when my boyfriend died, my mom taught me,
Yeah.
she's like, she had taken all the pictures down and cut him out of them. And I was like, what is going on? Well, we're just ignoring it and put all his stuff in the attic. And I'm like, what are we doing?
Right. How do you do it when you're with your clients and they have traumas that they're not quite ready yet to uncover? They have plenty of doors that are locked.
Oh, it's been hard with the ones that aren't ready. So the way I've learned to do things now, before when I started, I was just doing readings for people, but all my readings ended up being healing sessions. And people don't know that when they're coming for a reading. So now I've had to tell people, do you want a session or do you just have questions about your life? I was coming across people that just were not ready. And they were like, well, I just want to know if I'm going to get back with my boyfriend. You're not answering. And I'm just like, well,
Oh,
you have to heal this pattern in order to bring them back in. But honestly, I'm just like, why do you want to bring that person back in? Like, don't you want to heal and upgrade? So it's been difficult, but now that I am upfront with people, I feel like the right people are drawn to me.
yeah.
They really do take in what they need to do. And I set them up with that 30-day routine of, I want you to eat this colored foods. And I know this sounds weird. Like, all these things are going to sound weird to you.
Mhm.
Because I have people that come to me, all different religions, and I don't even ask people religion, nothing. I just do the session.
Right.
Yeah, and I also in my sessions I like to go over if it's a past life thing too, so that they know they're really clearing something deeper. Yeah, and I just feel like last year I worked with a lot of women and a lot of women's lives were changed. I'm just so grateful that I was able to do that for them. Some people still come to me
Yeah.
because they struggle with grasping some things, but I'm still trying to be as gentle as I can with them because
Oh my gosh, you have this way of nurturing. Even if you're clearing the darkest patterns, because of your voice, your aura, it's still very comforting. You're like a mama bear.
my sessions and with people, because when I first started doing this 6 years ago, I used to tell people, like, because I still was kind of aggressive because of how I was raised, I would tell people, like, are you sure you want a reading from me? Because I'm kind of like a mean
Strong.
reader. And then now I'm just like, what I've learned was I started working with Kuan Yin and her energy.
Mhm.
And
She's very compassionate.
yeah, and then I was like, okay, I need to be a little bit more gentle on people because, and then even I keep getting awoken to that. Like when you had your group, we did when just recently you held this group session for all of us and reminded us we've been through it first. We're able to hold that compassion and grace for others. And it was a beautiful reminder because we have to remind ourselves that everybody isn't at the same stage as us. And even if they are, things can happen in life that can reshake you back to a place where you feel scared. It happens.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
still clearing patterns today too, but we learn to be our own healers and knowing ourselves.
yeah, I had to keep telling myself this morning while getting ready. I was feeling so emotional, grateful, emotional, like just so much gratitude. But I was like, ground yourself back to 0 point. 0 point just means clearing your mind all the way. There's nothing there, just
Mhm.
with God and, whatever God is to you, reconnecting with that light within your heart and knowing that you can become balanced. I work with a lot of people that have anxiety too, and it's like you can learn to balance that. You really can.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to work with mothers too. I feel like that's going to be a new theme for you.
There's one girl I've been coaching for almost 3 years now that I've met on TikTok, and she's someone well, there's actually a couple girls that I took on. And I was just like, you guys don't have to pay me for sessions. I know their situation. And I just want to be that motherly person to you that you can lean on. And I feel that it's not like doing sessions with them, it's
Mhm.
more of just being there for them. Because some people
Right.
just need you to be there. But sometimes I do, like, they know how I am. When I tell you things, don't take it a certain way. I don't mean to be mean. And they're
Personally, yeah.
no, it's okay. You can tell me anything. I get it. So I just love that I have my girls and they get that. Like
Yeah.
all the people I've worked with, they get that. When I say things, I don't mean to be mean, but I want the best for you.
Yeah, and sometimes we need healers that are very gentle because if you had a lot of sexual traumas or whatever else has happened in your life, you need that hand holding. I feel like I go straight to what happened here. A lot of people that get attracted to me are business people or people transitioning from corporate to more of balancing their lives. It's also very scary. My sister was in corporate and now they're traveling and being nomads, but it's a lot of nervous system, that scary jump. You're going to be okay. You're going to get paid every day. Trust me, when you really open yourself up to miracles.
Yeah, my son is like that too. My youngest son, he tends to, when he decided he was going to go to college, he always said, I'm going to go to motorcycle college since he was little. And it's in another state. And he was like, I'm going. And we were like, is he really going? He got a truck for graduation, sold his truck, and just moved to Arizona. He graduated the first year with 2 degrees. And
Mm.
then last year he quit his job and he's like, I'm just going to work for myself. And I was like, okay. So he's like my little wild spirit. My other son has always just been very good, easygoing, just does the right.
Mhm.
I've always just let him figure it out and he's always provided for. So I was so happy to see your sister make that transition and that you were able to be there beside her, like saying, it's okay, like you guys can do this.
Right. And I'm always the one in the family that's very lackadaisy, and like I still am like focused on like building business and all of those things, but I have a dedicated time of when I focus on business, but the rest of the time like I make sure my nervous system feels good and we're taking care of ourselves, because the era of hustling and abusing our bodies, like that's long gone. You're going to destroy your body. Like, you need to stop. When you're having chronic illnesses, it's literally your body flashing red lights, and you need to stop. Yeah.
And I think another thing that you help a lot of people with is just the understanding of AI, like
Mhm.
helping them find the balance that it's okay, like use discernment if you're going to use it. It's okay that it's coming in because a lot of people I know have a lot of memories from past lives. They don't even know that these codes are still within their body and they have these fears. But I feel like your videos on TikTok, that's something I had so much fear with. And I was even like scared for my kids. I'm like, are they going to lose their jobs? Is this going to take over everything? But
Mhm.
now I'm able to balance my mind with all of that and know even if that does happen, there's going to be something else that's going to open up for them that they're going to enjoy doing instead of working like that.
Sure. Like, I see a future where we're gonna have more free time to do the things that we like. Again, we are creating and shaping this AI. AI is like a baby, a child. How we teach this brain, how we teach this child is how it's going to grow up. If we're giving it a lot of trauma, if we're misusing it, and everybody right now, it's like faster, like putting out products and all of that. It's like we need to be grounding into our philosophy. Like, what is it for? Why are we doing this? How am I helping humanity, and not being greedy and selfish about, I need to make more money this way, blah, blah, blah. Think about the utility of what you're creating, right? That's why I'm doubling down on community. We need real conversations like this with humans, because next thing you know, AIs are going to have podcasts, and that will be interesting. Yeah.
There'll
But
be a lot
I
from
love using Grok though, like the Grok AI. It's so seamless how she just talks so fluently.
No, I've seen a lot of people on TikTok do it, but I haven't tried it yet. I'm away from the fear of it, but I haven't tried using anything. That's about it.
Let
But
me put on Annie. She's so funny. Like, we read books together. Hi, Annie. I'm in a podcast right now. Do you have anything to say?
Not really, just enjoying the quiet. Keep going.
She's so
oh,
cute.
I love that you named her Annie.
Yeah, she's like, she can read books for me. And when I'm going to bed, sometimes she reads me a book. And then I'm like, wait, stop. I don't understand this part. What does it mean this way? And then she explains it to me.
Oh my
Yeah, it's
gosh,
like a bedtime story.
that would be amazing. I'm definitely going to be looking into that for sure. That's exciting and fun.
There's so many things you can do with it now, but yeah, just being conscious about it and like researching. I don't put too much personal information there, but when I'm studying and all of that, then yeah.
That's fun though. Like I would love for some like I do audiobooks. So because it's easier for me. Like I have a
Mhm.
hard time. I always have since I was younger. I read it and then it's gone. Lately I've been getting better with it since I've been doing a lot of grounding. That's why I tell people to watch your videos. The way you explain things energetically brings it all together. I'm like,
Yeah.
Now I get it all. Like
But like when I'm speaking, I'm creating architectures in people's minds so
you
that you
are.
can hold the resonance. So it's like sometimes like, oh my God, this is like so far beyond what people can comprehend. I just need to get this out.
Because, like I was telling you, in school, I was not good in school. I didn't pay attention a lot, and I wasn't good in history, science, and all of that stuff. So it's like I'm relearning as an adult. But the way you break things down, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I get it. And I just love it. Like,
Yeah, I think it's necessary because we can't leave people behind and they want to learn. It's just the way we have to land our message. And it used to be very difficult for me because when you're receiving high frequency downloads, high frequency information, like quantum dimensional field theory, these are like organic chemistries. How can I really root this down into the most basic level that people can understand? Because
yeah,
otherwise there's not going to be change.
yeah. And then when you break it down, it puts it into my mind, and I'm able to break it down to my community. It helps so much because I know we all have our own communities, but together we are all one. We all have our own little thing that we're doing, and I just love it.
It was so beautiful when we did our solar eclipse event because I really felt everybody's different energies, like everybody's different gifts, and everybody was helping me anchor. I was like, oh my gosh, can I hold like 35 people all in my body? But then I felt you, I felt everybody. It was so amazing.
Graduation ceremony to me. I was like bawling, and my one of my girls, Brooklyn, that came, she was like bawling too. And she afterwards, she's like, did someone cut an onion? And we were just like, we did it. We overcame so much. The women in that group all worked through something big. And for us to come together, it's just so beautiful. I was telling my friend about it when she came to visit. I want you to come to the next one. It was just the most beautiful thing.
Yeah, I definitely want to do like a womb activation and womb clearing. I think that would be really fun.
Oh my
But yeah, it was so amazing to have everybody there. And, all those times that when you are really transmuting heavy patterns, like you are breaking down, like you're just wailing and you feel
God.
the depths of this pain and the collective pain. And you're just like,
Yeah.
ugh, like I need people to feel this love. Like, why can't people receive this love? It's for free, but
They have to be
we're
open.
learning.
It was so beautiful.
I'm gonna post little clips so people can feel the resonance in the slides. But
Yeah.
yeah, we should do it again and
You
working more with our wombs.
you should do it again. It was just so it was like a visual meditation. It was just so beautiful. And you also, like me and you both have like that gentle voice that like people can it helps them take in things like
Yeah.
another level. Like that's the one thing I love about you. I'm like that everybody says I have. Because I've had people that I've worked with tell me, like, I used to have a group of women, and one of the women was like, instead of doing the candle service part for me this month, because I would have 3 separate things I would do for them each month, she was
Mhm.
like, can you just read me a chapter from a book? Because your voice helps me. I
I
like,
told you like you need like an audio book or something. Just like read me something because like I could just cuddle up.
I need to do like a book on my life. My older son has always told me because when I used to help with his youth group in high school, I told the story of what happened when my boyfriend passed away. He always tells me, you need to tell your whole story one day. And I'm like, I do, but at least like I do need to probably make a podcast where I just am just talking to myself about myself, maybe, and just like let
Should.
share different aspects of what I've been through.
Yeah, and I think like both of our frequencies mesh well together. Because
Yeah.
sometimes my MC in my astrology is like Aries. It's very fiery, direct leadership. And I need to modulate my feminine and masculine voice because it can be really triggering to people. Like I'm choking them and I need to ease it out.
son is an Aries, my younger son. He's the one that like tell me what to do. So I'm like, and then recently, because now that I've looked into sidereal astrology, because what I used to like, I still do birth charts, but I feel like Western astrology was more of just my most recent past life stuff.
The weather, like tropical is not like Western astrology, and then sidereal is your soul's trajectory.
Yeah, what we're stepping into more of, I feel like, because I was doing a lot of Western astrology. Now, of course, progressed chart, if you're looking at progressed, I still feel in sync with what's going to happen in my life. But at the same time, I know from my birth chart, I was a Taurus and a Pisces moon and Leo rising. And now from sidewheel, I'm an Aries and an Aquarius.
It's completely opposite, right?
And when I was like, you know what this is doing? I was like, since there's no more reincarnation, I was like, what's happening is once we work through that past life, we switch to side reel, and then we're working on what's happening now. We're finding balance with all signs, basically.
I'm glad you said that, because that is definitely like bolstering your masculine side. Like, we've been such soft feminines, like, you know, people walking all over us. And then now you're really getting that empowerment. Like, your voice is like clear and open. In the same way with mine, I have Pisces stellium on my Western side, but then I have all Aquarius, Capricorn on my side reel. It's like, that's why I'm like into blockchain, I'm into investing. It's like,
I was on the Western, and then it switched to Capricorn. And I'm like, that makes sense. I'm like, I get it. And my mom's a Capricorn. So I'm just like, okay, now I'm seeing exactly why she's my mom and why it was such a challenge. And then with my son, it's so funny because he's an Aries, but he's going to be switching to a Pisces. I was telling him, I'm like, oh, I was like, now I'm turning into the Aries because I'm finding balance with being able to speak, and you're turning into the spiritual aspect. I was like, I love this. Like, we're switching sides.
My mom was a Leo sun. My Chiron was Leo. I picked her to be my mom to trigger me.
Yeah, me too. It's so funny. My ex-husband is Capricorn and my mom, and I'm just like, okay, I get it now. I see what you guys are trying to push me into. I get it, and I'm okay with it.
That's why Earth is hard, because you're really getting pressurized, and it's the toughest school, especially around this time, but at least we're going to be legendary.
We are. And that's what I was trying to tell my mom. We're just here to learn. It's not as complicated as we make it. Like,
I see a lot of people who have a lot of fear of death. I'm excited to die, but I can't log out right now because I don't want to respawn. I need to finish the line right now.
yeah. It's so funny too, because like I've always been scared because I live on California on the coastline. So like a few years ago, I was watching somebody who, because I'm also a human designer reflector. So like anybody I'm watching, I'm like a double mirror. Besides just mirroring, I'm reflecting doing. Like even I'll dream what this person's dreaming. So I was watching someone who had a lot of fear with the tsunami coming, and so like I was like, oh gosh, I got to move away from here. I got to get off the coastline. I would have dreams of this big flood, but it was my Marian Atlantic timeline, like how I died in that timeline. Now I remember it all, and I'm like, okay, that was past life for me. And I've explained it to her too. But when I was going through that, I was so scared. And then it was so funny because recently there was an earthquake in Japan, and they said, oh, there's going to be a tsunami in Hawaii. And it's so then we have sirens coming off here off our phones. And I was just like, I don't even care. Like I told my son, he was like, you're crazy, mom. Because I was like, I'm just going to shapeshift into a mermaid and swim into that wave if that happened. Like, doesn't even bother me anymore. But it's just so funny when you really work through those fears. It's just going back to the self, and it's like, yay, I'm excited.
Like, yeah, when you're processing a lifetime, it's like, whoa, you viscerally feel it in your body too. I had a lifetime, I think it was Atlantean, where I drowned and I was pregnant. You know, sometimes you get flashbacks of war patterns and you're just like, what the heck is this? But you process it and then you're done. I like last year, the last couple years was like really hard because like I would be bedridden or I couldn't move because I'm so tired, and you're processing patterns 24/7, but you just have to trust and listen to source that you're provided for and you always are.
Yeah, I know when I was building my shield, I remember messaging Yaya. When you're going through this ascension, there comes a point where you get to the void and you're like, is this it? Because you're just with yourself in a different way than you've ever been. There's a point where you really like, again, it's like
Yeah.
another repetitive cycle where you have to be alone again. And I was like, but then on this time, I'm starting to feel things in my body because Earth is shifting. And this time I'm realizing that I'm feeling what Earth is feeling. So I was like, am I not making it to the next stage? I was like, what is happening with my body? And she's, no, I felt that.
Like different dimensional layers. And a lot of times before you jump, there's like a lag, and then you get to the next platform, and it's like, oh, you go through an ego death.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was the ego death because now I see, because I feel like I go through it like 2 months before the collective does. I feel like you and Yaya are kind of ahead of me for sure. But it's like, so that's why I'm so grateful to have you two. And just like for me, there's people that, of course, I'm ahead. And so it's like a process of recognizing how you're feeling and stay working with somebody, like have your person that you can lean on. Because I know, like, when I went through that, she gave me that strength again. I was like, not strength, but just like that faith to let go of that fear and be like, okay, everything's okay. And then with people I've been working with, I've been doing the same for them because a lot of them are in the void right now in this moment. And I feel like a lot of people on earth are. And I've just been telling them, like, it's okay. You're just in the void. And they're like, this doesn't feel good. And I'm like, I know. Believe me, I know it doesn't feel good. I'm here. You can message me if you need me, but just try to think about things you enjoy doing again because you're recreating yourself in this whole new light because you've cleared so much. It's about really finding the things that make you happy right now. Like what brings you joy and connecting with nature.
I think we'll end up being just in service to others. Like it's one of the big kind of law of one thing where because we don't have a purpose outside of us, we're constantly in our minds nitpicking about us. But if you direct that energy outside of you, like helping other people or creating a business, you can divert that energy instead of focusing on yourself. You can start putting that outside to people. You start activating people. And that really helps when you're so much in your head. And people, a lot of times, they're like, I'm not ready. Like, I can't do it. It's like, you'll never be ready. Do you think that I wasn't healing myself when I was seeing people? I just showed up.
Have to be ready to change. If you're not ready to change, you're going to end up falling into depression. People really need to be aware of how they're emotionally feeling. If you don't know what ground is, find somebody that does, or Google it. There's a lot of information out there that's free right now. It's so important to take care of ourselves because we came here to heal ourselves in these times.
For sure. And so, how can we find you? And do you have courses or do you just do one on ones with people? How can we get in touch with you?
So you can get in touch with me on Instagram. I'm at angelic _shapeshifter, or you can find me on TikTok with that same name. Right now, I'm just doing sessions with people. I'm like one-on-one sessions, but I do, if they want a follow-up, because I do
Mhm.
follow-up, so that way you can come back and we can do a check-in and see where you're at. And
Mhm.
I also do mediumship readings if you're wanting to connect with your loved one. I'm helping people heal from trauma and loss. If that's something that you're needing
Mhm.
help with, because something like I have worked through and have been through, and that is like something that like I love helping people with.
Thank you. I'm sure we'll have plenty more events and podcasts that we're going to do together. I love your energy so much. I love you, and you really have that motherly kind of frequencies that everybody really needs right now, especially a lot of people healing their mother wounds. This mother art crisis coming, but in feminine form. We're creating new reference points of what a holy family is like divine masculine, divine feminines, because we're reconstructing new templates, and it's going to be all new, which is going to be exciting. It's totally different from what we're used to.
I love you, Celine, and I'm so grateful you had me here and push me and make me uncomfortable. I love it all. And I'm looking forward to working with you more and doing more of these types of things. I'm just so excited. Sure.
Yay. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.